Hello, I'm Cleopatra Wallace, and this video is all about Codi Bigsby. Now, this is actually my second time doing Codi. The first time I did him was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we were dealing with the date of January the 31st is when the police was called. But as we know, there has been a few developments, and one of the developments is that the window of time has become a little bit bigger. So now he is saying that I guess he was leaving the kids. This is the father, Corey. We're saying that he was leaving the kids alone, and this begun in November. And we also had like a little mini interview from one of the neighbors that said that he was able to hear the kids screaming through the walls as they were left alone. So yeah, we're just gonna and I did a little poll on my page asking which questions people wanted answers to. And one of the questions was who was responsible for Codi's disappearance. Another one was if Codi was harmed and how. And the last question was where was his energy last. So we're gonna try to answer all three of those questions with this video today. So spirit, angels, ancestors, and they're trying to talk already. Spirit guides, ancestors, help us to find the answers. We are still in the zip code of 23664 in Hampton, Virginia, in the 100 block of Renalte Drive. But now we want to know, there's one, we want to know about the energy surrounding Codi starting in, let's start in the middle of October. Since he's now saying November, I don't even trust him. We're going to start in the middle of October. We would now wanting to know about Codi Bigsby's energy between October the 15th and January the 31st. So that's a pretty big window. Oh, there's another one. All right, we just need two more. We want you to know about Codi's energy. Codi Bigsby lived in the zip code 23664. We wanted to know about, this is quite a bit. If too many come out, I usually take the top one and the bottom one. All right, we have 4 cards now. All right, now, so we're wanting to know about Codi's energy between October the 15th of 2021 and January the 31st. All right, and the first 4 cards are, again with the Wheel of Fortune. This was here the last time I did him. With the change on the table. Wait, where's my pointer? This is the same card was here last time. So I guess counting change or barely having enough money to make it by, that was a I guess like a constant energy that was around him. And now we have the 9 of Wands. This is 9 of Wands means burden. Well, as I'm looking at this card, I'm just seeing like a bunch of stuff all over the floor. Like on this card is guns, but to me it just looks like toys and trash. So we have a very messy apartment. I'm not surprised if the apartment's messy if they were left alone. All right, the Ace of Coins. This is an interesting card right here. Have you, well, of course we have all open canned goods, right? But you ever notice how sharp these edges become? Those things become like knives themselves if you're trying to eat something out of a can. That can be dangerous. For some reason, they're pointing out that eating out of this can would be dangerous. Of course, like who's eating out of cans, I don't know. But yeah, we've all opened up a can, and that little rim part is very sharp. You can hurt yourself with that. All right. And the last card is the King of Swords. And what they're showing me is the windows. Like that's a lot of windows. This could be the neighbors seeing the kids through the windows or the kids looking out the windows. But this card is about windows. This one is about a can being sharp. This one is a messy apartment. And the last one is counting change. All right, so the first card I want to clarify is this can. Like who's eating out of this can? And did somebody get hurt? eating out of the can. All right, Holy Angel, Spirit Guides, and Ancestors. We are in the 100 Black of Renault Street in Hampton, Virginia, zip code 23664. We are between the dates of October the 15th and January the 31st. And you're showing me someone eating out of a can. What can you tell me about this can? Or the person who's eating out of the can? Alright. They're showing me like, in the back, the way these cans, well, not cans, but to me they look like cans right now. The way these are cups lined up, it's like showing me that everybody were eating out of the cans. Or that was just how they were served the food. Because a lot of like those Del Monte cocktail snacks where you can just pull the tab, at a certain point kids can open that themselves because they watch you do it. So I'm guess maybe when they were left home alone, they were opening up canned goods and eating it. Because you got to think, Cody was the middle child. He was 4 years old, and he had twin sisters that were 2, and he had an older sibling that was 5. So at some point, they were fixing themselves food out of these cans. That's so, you know, it's 2022, and we got children eating out of cans. All right, let's move on to the 9 of Wands. What's the significance of the room being real messy? And to do that, we are going to use the spider deck. Spirit, why are you showing me the messy room? What does this have to do with Cody's disappearance between October the 15th and January the 31st? Oh, all right. These 2 cards, okay? Okay, we got unfair treatment. This is a negative card. Doesn't have the 2 triangles at the top. Unfair treatment. So this is like one person, you see one person has the bag on their back and the other one doesn't. The way he is bent over, this bag is a burden. And this 9 of Wands card is a burden too. I'm guessing that at some point, the father, Corey, just decided, you know, we're not even going to worry about cleaning no more. All right. So even cleaning up behind the children had became a burden. And then we have the need to plan. And again, with the stuff all over the floor. You know, there's a good chance that Cody accidentally fell or might have killed himself when he was left home alone. All right, let's go to the change. I want to know, why do they bring this card up again? And you know another thing that's kind of strange? I thought the sister had said that she had seen Cody not that long before he went missing. Now, why are we looking at November if she's seen him? Yeah, I'm not too sure about her. All right, Spirit. Again, you show me someone around Cody counting change. Oh, all right, that was quick. Queen of Swords comes out. And this is Sharon Stone in the movie Basic Instinct when she uncrosses and crosses her legs in that iconic scene. It's like a distraction where, you know, she uncrosses her legs as a distraction. So whoever was counting the change was possibly counting it with a woman. Again, I think last time I did this story, there was like a pair. So the Queen of Swords is back. All right, let's try to answer one of the questions. And to do that, we are going to use, I'm going to use the Omega Land. All right, so question number 1 is, who's responsible for Cody's disappearance? All right, Spirit, I want to ask you about the energy that was around Cody between October the 15th and January the 31st in the zip code of 23664 in the 100 block of Renault Street. We're inside the apartment now. again, this woman, every time I even think about it and say anything, another queen comes out. Now she's the Queen of Coins. He had help. A lot of help from a woman. All right. I almost forgot what I was about to ask. I was about to ask who was responsible for Cody's disappearance from the apartment, and the queen came out again. You know, there is a chance that maybe when the father got back and seen what had happened, that maybe he called someone for help or advice. Another thing that I have to say is Spirit tells me we are lucky that we're just looking for one little kid and not all four of them. You know, this could be, he could have showed those kids mercy by being like, okay, one of them already got killed or murdered, so let me just go ahead and stop this now. So I'm grateful to him for that, for stopping it before all four kids disappeared. But still, I would like to know where Codi is. Oh. All right. The woods. It's always woods. You see the woods, like he's traveling, he's going on down the road, but it's just a bunch of woods. Like on the side of the highway type of woods. Alright, so I think a woman was responsible for taking him out of the house. Or she was a part of the plan to take him out of the house. Now, I would like to know exactly how this all started. I want to know, was he harmed and how? And to do that, we're going to use the Beauty of Horror deck. Yeah, because this is supposed to be a little quick update video, and it's starting to get long. Alright. Alright, well, we're getting a few answers. Because I think it's a good chance that he could have maybe even like cut himself real bad eating out of these cans. Alright, Spirit. Now I would like to ask you more about, we're still in the same place. We're still in the apartment on 100. Right now, let's drive in 23664 zip code in Hampton, Virginia. Can you tell me exactly how Codi was harmed, maybe? What happened? What happened to cause his energy to stop? How was he harmed? Or was he harmed? Not in here? Alright. Not in that one. Let's look in here. We're going to look in A Nightmare Before Christmas. As you know, my spirits are like very spoiled over here. They have a Pacific image, and they intend on finding it. Alright. So, maybe it's in here. Alright, Spirit guides, holy angels, and ancestors. I'm asking you a very specific question right now. Right now, I would like to know, how was Codi harmed? How did his energy stop? Who was there? What caused it? Whew. They almost all fell, but just this one. Alright. I'm almost scared to look at it. Again with the woman. The camera rocking. I'm seeing like a smoke or water. Like this stuff behind her that's moving around. Like see how it kind of drifts over the dress like that? Like I think this down here is smoke. But is this up here water or is this smoke? Is it all smoke? But the apartment's not burnt down. I'm thinking if it was a carbon monoxide thing, all of the children would have been deceased and not just Codi. So this card is not about the smoke or the water. This card is about this woman again. And the chances of Corey actually speaking and snitching on this woman are slim to none. You know the military people are trained not to talk. So, you know, he's never going to give it up. All right. Spirit, I appreciate you keep showing me this woman here. But I would like to know, what did this woman do specifically? Okay? What did she do specifically that caused Codi's energy to stop? How did it happen? We don't necessarily have to know when, but I would like to know how and where. No? Nothing here? Alright. Oh, I see. I see. Y'all could have just said that way a while ago. I don't use this one too much because it's such a small deck, but it has a lot of amazing images in it. It's the Erotic Tarot. Alright. Alright, Spirit. I wanted to know exactly how Codi's energy stopped. What caused it? Where was it at? What can you tell me about his energy stopping? Oh. All right. We have a woman flying. But, whoa, they done dug out a really old reference, Spirit. Wow. Okay, you see the woman flying, right? And she's flying into the sun. Like, she's not supposed to be up there. Like, these wings are not built for her. And not only that, but if you did build them, remember the story about the guy who flew too high to the sun or something and the wax melted and the wings fell apart and he crashed down to the ground? This is what they're showing me. Somebody was up high where they weren't supposed to be and crashed back down to the ground. Wow. There's a good chance that Codi fell down the steps or jumped off or something. Because this is kind of like that same smoky pattern. Yeah, I'm thinking something to think it was unintentional. You know, kids like to watch out of, the Spider-Man movies where people be jumping and flying and all of that. And he was on the autism spectrum. But you have to think he was there with his other siblings. Maybe he seen one of them jump off or something, so he tried to jump off or something. But this woman that keeps showing up, she was a part of the story of what to do with him. And I've asked him several times what was the round thing that I seen him in last reading. And the only thing I think that things that are round are like, a washing machine is square on the outside, but the inside is round. So I keep trying to think of things that are square on the outside, but round in the inside, or things that are just round altogether. Yeah, but this definitely sheds a little light to it for me. They were definitely eating out of the cans and jumping off of stuff. And it had become too much of a burden. I don't know if we're going to ever find his actual remains because, like I said, his father's in the military and they don't really talk that easily. But this woman has a lot to do with it. This could be his sister. And again, Spirit says we are very fortunate that we are just looking for Codi and not all four of them. So we're going to leave it here. Again, my name is Cleopatra Wallace. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because who knows what's going to happen next.